Don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Hi everyone, it's Mike here. So it's time for another mid-month mini mission inspiration over on our Facebook group. And once again, I'm going to be creating an art tag for my project for the mission inspiration. And this month, the theme is hands. So for this project, I want to incorporate probably one of the most famous pair of hands in art. Okay, so to get started, I've already created my tag using my acrylic cover for my tag kit as my template. And don't forget, if you want to use tags or create tags for your mid-month mini missions as well, and you want to use one of these tag kits, these are still available on my website. So you get the acrylic cover, you get the MDF base, and you also get the book ring as well. Don't forget, they're not blue plastic or white plastic when you get yours. It is a protective cover and just needs to be peeled off to reveal the total transparent acrylic underneath. So like I said, I've already created my tag shape using my cover as my template, and just to make sure I don't forget, I've already gone and covered the back with some black card because I always forget to cover the back. It's one of those things I always forget to do and have to go back and do it later. So I'm just going to quickly just trim around the end, just to round off that end there. There's the card. So we're going to be doing hands, and like I said, I'm going to be incorporating at least somewhere in my project one of the most famous pair of hands in art history, and not Mona Lisa, but those ones. So those are going to be incorporated into my art tag somewhere. It's going to be mostly collage, but there will be some painting going on, which is what I'm going to do next. So I need a paintbrush. You like the sound effects? And I've got some black gesso. This is from my friends at Indigo Blue. So I'm going to completely cover the front of my tag in black gesso. It will soak in pretty quickly. I'm just going to go across just left and right. I'm not particularly bothered about getting a total even coverage. Mottled and grunge is good. Grunge is good. Just spin that around. It doesn't matter if I get any on the back because it's black anyway. So just recently, while I've been creating art journal pages and doing projects, I have been favouring collage over any other kind of art journal technique recently. Not necessarily because I prefer it. It's just, I think, using collage images that are already out there to create your project is a great way to utilise and bring together different elements without having to try and draw yourself. So that's, I think, why I've been using collage more than anything else, because I can still create, but I don't have to be too proficient at drawing or creating or doing faces or even hands for that matter. So it's okay to grab a pair of hands from an image, cut them out and stick them down. Okay, so gesso never takes too long to dry, does it? So what I also want to do is just to add a little bit of kind of texture into the background. Now to do that, I'm going to use a sponge and some white gesso. For the white gesso, I've got some Dina Wakley Media white gesso. Only because it was the first one I could lay my hands on. So I've just got a little piece of craft sponge, and I'm just going to take a very tiny amount, put it onto my background, and I don't mind picking up a little bit of that black gesso just to mix in. and then I'm just going to go around and create a kind of wispy, grungy kind of background. I don't want it to be completely black, so I'm just going to introduce just a little bit of detail to pick up a little bit more. I'm not bothering with the centre because that's going to be covered up, because I do have a kind of plan as to what I want to kind of achieve for this. And just pick up a little bit more, a bit heavier this time. So I've got the lighter ones in the background and the heavier ones over the top. Just creating a few kind of layers in that background. There we go. I like that. That'll do for me. So, state of that lid. Right, I'm going to have to get that cleaned up, I think. Right, I want to clean up all this, get this dried off, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so the background is now dry, so I want to create my kind of focal point in the centre of the tag, and to do that I've got some yellow card, and I'm using yellow because yellow is the Pantone colour for 2021, or one of the Pantone colours for 2021, and I've also deliberately printed my God and Adam's hands on yellow paper because I wanted that kind of yellowy aged kind of feel. So that's going to be my backdrop, but what I want to do is just add a little bit of distress just all the way around, just to create a little bit of a frame so it's not too stark. A transition from the yellow to the black, so you do kind of get a little bit of a lead in. I'm not sure, actually I probably need a refill on that archival ink. Let's just use this one. I know I'm mixing water based and solvent based, but what the heck, that's better, that's more juicy. So we'll go around the yellow card, and that's going to create like my focal points in the centre. Square, just because I could have used a circle just as easily, but I wanted to use a square today. Alright, let's get rid of those little bits. So that's going to get adhered down onto my tag, but to go over the top of that I've got some book text, but not just any book text. This is a piece from the Bible. Now, when I went to, I've got obviously a Bible, a normal Bible, but I've also got a very old one which is falling to pieces. But I've obviously never really looked at it properly because I thought it was a complete one, but it's not, it's just a New Testament. So I thought I'd be really clever and pull out one of the pages from Genesis, where obviously it describes God creating Adam, but it wasn't there because it's the New Testament. So I've had to make do with just a random page, but that's fine. We use what we have, and I certainly wasn't going to tear a page out of the of the family Bible. So I'd have got into trouble for doing that. Okay, so I've got a glue stick and I know how to use it. So I'm going to just go around the outside. Be careful not to tear it or crease it because these pages are delicate, being very thin because there's so many pages in the book. So many pages. Okay, so and I'm going to stick that onto the yellow card. There we go. So that creates a nice frame for that to get stuck down. And I'm not going to stick the hands down straight away because I want to kind of audition them for the best position on the page or on the tag. And I think that's probably going to be somewhere about there. I want to kind of get that in the middle. Somewhere about there. Yeah, I think that is just going to be quite good. So what I will do is I'll just add a smidge of glue just down there just to hold that one, and I'll just lift that up and add just a smidge of glue there just to hold that in place, and then I can just lift that out and go mad with the glue on the back here. And then I can just slide that back under, and then just position it where I want it. Yep, about there, that's good. And then make sure I get it straight. Okay, I can always apply some pressure later. And then I can just lift that up, add some glue, and then put those hands down there. It will dry, so it doesn't matter if I've got glue in exposed areas. It'll be fine once it's dried. Yeah, that's stuck down nicely. But that's lifting up. Get it down there. Okay. Okie doke. So I can now just flip that over, grab my scissors, and I can just trim off the excess. And then I can grab the distress again and just go around the edge just to kind of blend it in. Okay, so I'll just need to put something heavy on that just to hold it down while that dries or grabs, and just push that to one side. Because I like to add just a touch of whimsy to my art journal pages, I've got a little cherub, a little pooty. I'm just going to go around the edge with. There's some images you get and you use time and time again. I think I've had this one for, it must be at least 10 years, and it's just been transferred from computer to computer, and actually been used and used and used and used and used. Used at Christmas, used, you know, all different times of the year for all different things. A timeless image. Origins completely lost in the days gone by. Right, it's obviously from a painting somewhere, but obviously it's been taken off, used in cards, used in like Victorian Christmas cards or whatever over the years, and just absorbed into the craft consciousness, if you like. Okay, so I'm going to stick my little cherub just there, looking up at the hands, just for a wee little bit of fun. Okay, so what I didn't do was I didn't mark for the hole. So I'll do that now. I'll just lay that over the top. Get a pencil or something that I can see, maybe a white one. That way it won't make any diff. And then I can just pop that out using my hand punch. And then I'll just create a black reinforcer just to go around. Not that it probably needs one because it's cardstock anyway, but it's just tidy. It's just tidier. And then I'm going to stick a little bit of glue on the back of that. I'm using black, because I didn't want to use yellow or anything like that because that would have just stood out too much. So this will just blend into the background. There we go. And then just to make sure I've got it centered up properly, because the ends of your pencils are tapered, if you push through and then just give it a little pressure, it will maneuver the circle to the right space. There we go. Now that is going to be my art tag for February, using the word hands. So just bring in the one for January. That was secrets, so I did it so it wants to be that way. So glue, and like I said in the intro on the Facebook group for this month, the prompt is hands, but you can use whatever hands you want to use. You could even recreate one of those famous prehistoric cave wall handprints if you wanted to. That would be fun. Go around the outside. If you've got room, of course. Okay, so this is for February, so today is the 13th. So we know that's for February. There we go. Excellent stuff. I'm not going to put any typography on there because we already have some typography on there because we've got that Bible page in the background. So I think that will do for my mission inspiration, mid-month mini mission inspiration. It's always a mouthful, that. For February 2021. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create that art tag. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. I'm just going to add it to my tag journal, and this time remember to put the cover on. I haven't actually made any full title page covers yet, or I haven't even done the back yet. That's going to be on another day, probably a rainy day. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. But don't forget, if you want to join in with our Mission Inspiration monthly challenges, then I'll put the URL on the screen now, but also there's a clickable link in the description area below. So that's all from me. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.